Hello, everyone. My name is Cynthia Kane, and I am your librarian liaison for the School of Library and Information Management. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you some different ways of accessing the library's webpage, and then I'm also going to show you how to use something called the Discovery Service from our library's webpage to help you find and discover literally thousands upon thousands of articles, books, and more. I'm also going to show you how you can manage the discovery search so that you can narrow your focus down to exactly what it is that you're looking for, whether it's an article or a book accessible through William Allen White Library, whatever you're looking for. So we're going to start with the Emporia State University's webpage, www.emporia.edu. There are actually a number of ways that you can access the library's webpage. One way is to scroll down to the bottom of the ESU webpage and click on a link for Libraries and Archives. That will take you directly to our library's webpage, and this is exactly what you should see on your next screen. Now, there's a shortcut that you can use. If you were to click on a new tab, and if you were just to go to library.emporia.edu, you will see that you'll also get to the library's webpage that way. Finally, if you're in any of your Canvas courses, you will also see a link to the left of your Canvas course that will tell you to click on the Libraries and Archives. And if you click on that link, you'll be prompted to open the tab for the library's webpage in a new tab or a new window. So like I said, there's more than one way of getting to this. So one thing you're going to see immediately on this screen is something called Ask Us. This is our chat service that we have available during most of the hours that the library is open. And the great thing about this is, as a SLIM student, if you had a quick question about how to find something, or if the library actually owned an article or a book or other resource, you could chat with the librarian directly and we'd be happy to help you with that. We're actually going to close this right now, because I wanted to show you this particular tab called the Discovery Search. Now, this is probably going to be one of the first places that you start looking for information as a SLIM student. I think one of the key things to remember with the Discovery Search is that it is just that. So basically, the Discovery Search is our online library catalog. So this is where I would go if I wanted to find, for example, does William Allen White Library actually own a copy of a print book or an electronic book, an e-book? So it is a library catalog in that respect, but it's a lot more than that. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to do a search for something that I am very interested in, which is the concept of information literacy and undergraduate students. How do we teach them to become more information literate? How do we teach them how to apply library skills to their everyday lives, and so forth? And we're going to click on search. Now, I very deliberately did a rather broad search, and there's something I wanted to show you right off the bat. I am actually searching off campus, and the reason I'm doing that is that that's also where you're going to be. You're not necessarily going to be on campus doing this type of search. You'll notice up here at the very top of the screen for the Discovery Search, you'll have a link that says, Hello Guest, log in for full access. Always go ahead and click on that, and you will see a screen that looks like this that will prompt you to enter your buzz-in, username, and your password. I'm going to retype that. And you might wonder why I went ahead and did that. Well, the reason is that when I'm logged in off campus, it's basically authenticated me as a currently affiliated patron of ESU, like a currently enrolled ESU student. This is actually going to help shortcut your information, because with the Discovery Service, I did that broad keyword search of information literacy and undergraduate students. Now, the Discovery Service is going to pull in much more than just books. you'll notice that this says I have over 143,000 references. Well, we would want to narrow that down in reality if we were doing this search for real. But the reason it's doing this is that the Discovery Service is also pulling in references to articles and other items from other online research databases, such as your library and information science databases. So it's doing much more than just searching books. Now, is this a good way of searching for articles? I actually recommend that when you're searching for articles, that you go to our databases link or databases tab and look for something more specific, such as a library and information science database. The reason I would recommend that is that you're not going to get quite as overwhelmed with information. However, you'll notice that I actually did get some different things here in terms of articles, such as implementing an interprofessional information literacy course, impact upon student abilities and attitudes. So this is not a comprehensive search by any means, but it is a way of discovering what we have, hence the name Discovery Search. Well, this is all very well and good, but I'll tell you, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the number of these results. So let's do some limits over here. I'm going to refine my results. And what I want to do now is limit my results just to what Emporia State University would have access to, both in print books and possibly electronic books. So I can do ebooks only or print books only. And you see, when I did ebooks only, this actually took me to some electronic books that you would have access to as a SLIM student. So I just did that by clicking on ESU Has It and ebooks only. If I only wanted print books, I can do this again. And I'm getting some really interesting results here. Student engagement of the academic library, framing library instruction, and so forth. So this is the key thing you want to remember with the Discovery Service. The default is going to be full text only. That's okay, but it's also going to be incredibly overwhelming if you're dealing with a large topic in library and information science. So spend a few minutes thinking about what it is that you're actually looking for. If you're looking for articles, I would go to a library and information science database instead. If you're looking more for books, ebooks or print books, change your limits to ESU Has It, and then you can limit to print books only or ebooks only. Now let's take off this limit though of ESU Has It. And you're going to see that my results didn't really change that much, but they could have very easily. So all of these are showing that these are books that are owned by ESU, by our library. Here's the call number, and the status will either be available or checked out. Now you might say to yourself, well, that's all very well and good, but if I'm a distance education student and I'm not in Emporia, why would I want to look for print books? Well, as a distance education student, if you find an item such as a print copy of an article or a print book that's owned by our library, you can return to the library's homepage, and you can actually go to a service over here called Interlibrary Loan. And I'm going to make sure my buzz-in information is updated here. Now, I've done interlibrary loan before, so my record actually went directly to this specific screen. If you've never done interlibrary loan before as a new student, you would actually get a screen that would look like this first. And this would require you to enter your personal information just once. You don't have to enter it again. And then after that, let's say if you're a distance education student and you would like to find or have access to this book, Successful Strategies for Teaching Undergraduate Research, you could actually copy and paste the information about this book. The author, the title, the location, the call number, which will help us. And you can put this into this book request on Interlibrary Loan. Then you would want to go down here And in the notes field, just make a note that you are a distance education student. We will then check the book out to you on your account and we will mail it to you. You would need to pay for the postage for mailing back, but remember that as distance education students, you do have access to this type of information. And this will also hold true if you find a reference or a citation for an article in a database and it's not immediately available in full text and we don't have it available any other way. You can do an interlibrary loan request for that, or if it is a print copy of a journal article, we will scan that article and we'll send it to you through your email as well. We're going to go back over here. Again, this is a very quick overview of the way the Discovery Service works. But to summarize, the Discovery Service is just that. It will help you discover a wide variety of items that are out there available. Not all of those items may be directly available in our library. If they are print books, we can mail those to you if you're not in Emporia. If they're ebooks, you can read those online, which is very convenient. If they are articles, but the full text is not available, you can do another interlibrary loan request for that article, and then we will find that article somewhere in another library or see if we have it in print, and we'll get it scanned to you and mailed to you. I hope that this has helped as you work on your past course. You can always reach me at ckane1@emporia.edu if you have any questions, and good luck.